Hey guys, and welcome to Tnashi's Movie Corner. Okay, so I'm trying to get this review out there for you guys just to share my thoughts on this movie, Doctor Strange. Yeah, I'm a little late. Okay, I understand. I'm late. I'm sorry. And to address that real quick, I've actually had some stuff really start occurring all just kind of parallel to each other that has thrown me off course. So I just you're driving down the road, I have veered to, to the left very hard course. So I will not be able to review as many movies as I had been trying to review. As far as movies that are just, coming out in theaters, I'll still be able to watch movies at least while home, and I'll be able to do stuff there. But my theater experience is gone. I just can't. I can't do it no more. I've had stuff occur that has, unfortunately, is keeping me from going to see as many movies as I would like, because I'm a huge movie buff. I don't know if you know this about me, but I like watching movies. What? I know, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I can't even believe it. Anyway, so that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. So that happened, and then I had a string of videos that started getting copyright strikes on them, which left me where I really had no choice, because they were like banning them from being watched by anyone, which is nuts. And I tried to look into kind of countering that, but that is a long process, and it's, there's a lot that might not happen there, and I don't know. The whole situation just really sucks from that point, because it was like, come on, guys. Like, I'm doing movie criticisms, critiques, discussions. I am a small channel. Why do you guys even? And it's funny too, because anything I used were just images or clips directly from YouTube, which I threw the disclaimers in there, and yet this stuff happens. So expect probably a rant video at some point on that, because that's just nonsense. And then my job, I've been working a lot more than I was, and it's a full-time job, so my schedule's been out of whack, and so have I. And then you throw in the election, which is crazy, and then I've had I'll be straight honest with you guys, I've had some money issues come into play too. So it's like all this stuff is just weighing me down, pushing, grinding me into the ground, to where I can barely even talk to the guys about anything. So I'm going to try. I'm working on those matchups still. I'm still working on that Star Wars video, which hopefully I can get out. And I'm actually approaching the time where I need to do another Star Wars video. And so it's just trying to accumulate enough time to do all of this stuff. It's crazy. I have one... throwing this out there too, I have one supporter on Patreon, really awesome individual. I can't believe that you're actually willing to do that, to have so much faith in me to put money towards this cause, for me to do this. I really appreciate it, and I got some requests from him from videos that I'm going to work on too. So like I said, so much going on right now, so much getting out there. So I do apologize for this being so late, for those few of you that are probably watching it, because that movie was kind of already, it came and went. We're on like week 2, week 3, depending on when this goes up. So yeah, but anyway, let's talk about it. I have heard so much praise for this movie, Doctor Strange, and seeing Benedict Cumberbatch in the role, which fit him like a cape. No, what was it, like a glove? I don't know, but seriously, seeing just the trailers, I knew he would bring it in this movie, and everyone's reviews, there was so much praise going for this movie. This is in like the top of their list. Marvel is on their game. They're so on point, like usual, just expectations. I was like, okay, I think this might be a good movie, and if you can't already distinguish that this is going to take a turn with a big old butt, it is, because while I enjoyed this movie, it was not as amazing as I was hoping it would be. It isn't. I think visually it's spectacular, like, no doubt about it. I had a few minor complaints. There was a few little shots that I didn't like for the visuals, but outside of that, there is something to be said about the visuals for this movie. They're really good. And for those that are just like, well, it's just like an Inception ripoff. No, they do some stuff with it. And yes, it does have an Inception feel, because that's the first one that really incorporated that kind of visual effects to us. But I think this one kind of highlights it well in its own way. It really distinguishes it in the movie. And I think there's so many good shots where they use this kind of revolving landscape that's happening, and it's just blowing our minds. And there's a particular sequence in the movie with Doctor Strange kind of going through some wacky stuff. So if you're high and you watch this, you will have the time of your life. And I am not endorsing that you smoke crack or do weed or anything before seeing this movie, or get drunk or anything like that, because that would be improper for me to do. However, I'm just putting it out there that this movie is a trip. It is, and I appreciate that. I actually was hoping for that kind of movie. So to see that aspect of, I thought it worked well. That, the villain though was a bit of a waste for me. You have, and forgive me if I say his name wrong, Miles Mickelson. Oh God, I probably said that wrong. I'm probably even thinking of the wrong person. The point being, you have this guy come in, and I'm excited to see him and the Star Wars movie coming out and everything. And he does such a fantastic job, especially when he was on Hannibal, that I expected him to bring a lot to this character. And I don't think that he didn't try to bring it. I think the problem is, when you get these origin stories for these superhero movies, that's where the focus lies. So a lot of times the villains are just throwaway. Now, irony is, his villain was kind of a throwaway character originally, so you can make a claim for that. But I just think overall, I was so hoping that this would improve and actually, correct this point that we're at, where these Marvel villains just suck. They do. They just suck, and this doesn't do it for me. This doesn't bring enough for me. That being said, there are a ton of Easter eggs in this movie from all these different comics and everything related to Doctor Strange. All these items that you'll see and little tidbits of information there. So I really appreciate that, and I think a Doctor Strange fan will just eat that up. Like, that is going to be such a cool thing for them to see, and I can understand that. Absolutely. I can understand where that's coming from, that enthusiasm going into that. And there's some really good visuals, but there's some good action scenes to, along with the visuals to kind of work, and nice set pieces, I think, really just bring this this awesomeness to your eyes. So I thought that was cool. I think the characters themselves, though, are a little weak. I mean, Doctor Strange is great. I think he's great, but I think the other characters are just kind of weak. And there's a character in here that I will try not to spoil for anyone that doesn't know. But if you're a fan of the comics and everything, you'll immediately see him and be like, hey, wait a minute. I know that guy. This guy is actually... And this kind of shows the path that he takes and how he ends up where we knew him to be at. I didn't completely buy it because they kind of rushed it at the end, and I wish they hadn't. I wish they had let it just kind of play out. So I feel like that was a little rushed. Also, the humor in this. Again, humor's all subjective, movies and everything like that. Humor in this is terrible. Humor in this is just horrible. Like, there was a couple times where I was like, it kind of made me cringe, because I was like, you're trying. I get you're trying, but you didn't really need it, and there's so much of it. I was like, what is happening? Why do you don't need all this humor like this? Now, there was, I think, a moment or two that I actually did crack a smile, so that that's cool. Obviously, I approve of that, but it was such a minor thing, and there's a lot of interest in this movie that's just kind of there again. Honestly, this movie's so much more visual, reliant on visuals to me. At least it feels like it than it is on story. And there's so many Easter eggs, which is cool. But again, they're there just for the fans to see them. They don't really do a whole lot outside of that. It's just it kind of happens. So I don't know. As far as the origin story goes, it's cool. It's a decent movie. I do think it could have been better, though. It's certainly not my favorite. I think Marvel's done a lot better movies in the past. I mean, I don't know. For an origin story, though, I think it's fine. So this is tricky because giving it already 1 through 10, going through it in my mind, I couldn't figure out where I wanted to place it. If I place it too low, then it feels like, well, that's kind of unwarranted. But I can't really praise it as high when I see this story's actual structure, and I'm like, I don't know. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. And I'm actually going to start, I think, converting my rating system and go a different route. I don't know. Tell me, guys, if you think I should do that. Because the way I look at the rating system is a bit different. Someone would be 6 out of 10 and be like, oh, that's terrible. But I look at it as, well, it's above the halfway mark. So I always look at it that way. But it gets confusing for some. So let me know. But again, I think this is a decent movie. I don't think this is a bad movie. I was let down because for me it just didn't bring everything to the table I thought it was going to bring. But again, that's my opinion on it. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you watched this video. I guess if you're hearing me now, you did. So awesome. If you want to be a Patreon supporter, which again would be amazing. It's for anyone, from $1 on up, whatever you feel like contributing to this channel. Please go and check out my channel. I will try to get reviews up there first, so most of the time you guys like the matchups I'm doing, you will see them. I am working on them. I'm waiting on a certain somebody to send me their vid so I can incorporate it and try to get these matchups going. And I have a really cool guest for those of you that know the Schmoes Know show and channel. I have a really cool guest from there that will pop up in one of. So I look forward to having that matchup discussed with you guys. But like I said, this is going on so long. I apologize. Hopefully you enjoyed this vid. Click that like button, share, subscribe to my channel, and watch my other vids. I do appreciate it. And until next time, peace.